Greetings, minion. Welcome again. This time I've got it right, and welcome to the adventures of the Goblin King in Fantasy Speed Spore. And looky there, we're all ready to roll. So, today what I'm going to show you is a creature that I hold not as close to my heart as the goblin, but close. You see, this creature, and apparently things look like they've stalled on the screen, but I'm going to assume they have not. This creature, oh, I'm typing. Okay, sorry about that. This creature is called the Barghest. What the Barghest is, and this is according to the book, is a snarling canine beast that pads forward on all four, its slender front limbs looking more like hands than wolf's paws. What they are, being a goblinoid, is an outsider-style goblin. One that has escaped the realms of the mortals and on into the other worlds. Probably one of the hellish-style planes. So you could almost say that these creatures are the goblins of the netherworlds. Now, one thing to mention is that they are said to be a fiendish relation to all the goblin races. Their hateful Barghests come to the material plane to feed. As they consume the bodies of the innocents, they grow increasingly more powerful. A Barghest eventually sheds its skin to transform into a greater Barghest, at which point it often seeks out a tribe of goblins or other creatures as such to rule. Now, why did I make them? Well, one of the reasons why is because I like goblins. I am the Goblin King after all. But another thing is that the fact that so many stories are connected to the fiendish realms, the darker ends of the world, so to speak. The places that people seek out for assistance, and I think many goblins would do that. Whether it's a goblin shaman, or even a wizard goblin who might take the time to call out and summon these creatures. Mountain Dew. Anyhow, my point to all of this is the fact that it's not just goblins that will call out to these things. Sometimes there are humans who want to get revenge. And they're a great story opportunity for most dungeon masters, game masters, referees, for role-playing, because they can be used in ways that goblins can't be. Number one, this is their primary ability, okay? I'm going to read it to you right from the book, and it can be misunderstood by people who don't understand. But once per month, excuse me, apparently my phone, oh, it's my alarm. No, there we go. Sorry about that. How professional of me, eh? Once per month, a Barghest can devour a non-evil humanoid corpse as a full round action and gain a growth point. Basically, it's statistical things towards their attacks and to their snarls and their bites and stuff like that. They increase and grow stronger and stronger until they consume enough to where they grow into a greater Barghest. And a greater Barghest is a lethal son of a gun. Okay, so they're not as powerful as like a demon, but they are damn powerful compared to a goblin. Most goblins will just run at you cannon fodder style and just chew and bite and rip and tear at the flesh until it's time. Well, time for them to die, of course, because most of them are cannon fodder. But what I'm going to do is explain to you a little bit more about what the Barghest is. Because they're a fiendish style creature, they get other things, like the ability to blink. If you know D&D or Pathfinder, you know what blink is. But blink essentially allows them to be able to instantly shift between the primary plane of existence and another plane of existence back and forth really fast. And what happens is it causes them to disappear and reappear and disappear and reappear. Now you have to imagine this wolf-like creature in a group of anywhere to a number of 15 or even 20. Just pounding away at the ground until they get to you and jump on you. But during that time, they're blinking, disappearing and reappearing. So not only would that cause confusion, it would make them extremely hard to hit. Now they can also show some of their power by, you might see them charging towards a cliff and think, we're safe, we're on the other side, we cut the bridge. But here's the truth. They don't need a bridge, because they may not be able to fly, but if they run, you gotta imagine them running straight towards you and just, snarling and growling, and you cut the bridge, and then you're like, yeah, we're safe, we gotta cross. They stop to take a breather, and you watch the first one jump, and it levitates, gliding straight across, straight towards you. The party suddenly screams and runs. What a wicked situation that would be. Now, another ability is called misdirection. What they can do is use at will. They can change their tracks. I'm pretty sure, now don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they can change their tracks and where their tracks are at, or where they might look at. That sounds strange, and you can see on the screen I'm really doing something very strange, trying to figure out how to make them have paws and be able to run on hands, but they can't. They have hands, so I decided to turn them into an upright creature at this point. They can stand upright, so don't think that they can't. But what misdirection allows them to do is be able to, make it harder for someone to see them. Or find them, I guess. Now, one of their other abilities is being a fiendish style creature, and the fact that they have probably fiendish blood or outsider influence, or maybe just some great demon lord gave it an ability a long time ago. They can look at one of their foes, or even, let's say, another monster that's coming after them, and they can charm it. Now, how they do it would probably be through utterful chantings or a fiendish style, such as words, and then suddenly that creature becomes under control of the Barghest. So not only are they fierce with their group, but most of the time they're by themselves, apparently. They can also, so to speak, enlist another monster to join them, and be able to make them an even more terrible foe. Another thing to mention, that they have what's called crushing despair. This is a terrible thing. Oh, by the way, the other mention is with their charm monster ability, they can use that on another person. So if their party, for example, they manage to catch one of the other people, maybe not tie them down, but just stare, and instead of ripping them apart, they might decide to charm them, and then, use their party member to stop, or not to stop, but to trick the party into making them think that maybe they got away, and then maybe making the other person attack their friends and bring them back to the Barghest, or even infiltrating back into it to where they're going to go, and then maybe to help knock their friends out to be able to give them back to the Barghest, or even just, don't worry about it, I got rid of him, I killed him, and then boom, they can assault. But another ability that they have is what's called crushing despair. You have to imagine, if one of these things are tracking you down, and your party is, let's say, at a campfire for the night, and they think they might have lost the trail of the creature, or they may not even know that the creature is after them, and suddenly what they do is they sense a feeling. They might not know that they're being casted upon, as the creature imposes its will, almost like a curse onto the people. Maybe one at a time, maybe a couple at a time. I'm not really sure how that works, but I do know that their crushing despair makes them feel dark and depressed and it makes the person, and I don't know exactly, but it makes it to where they can't move easily, or they might decide not to do anything else other than cry that round. A round is 6 seconds on average, by the way, for normal D&D and for God Pathfinder. Anyways, my point is this ability that they have is a wicked ability that allows them to be able to not only hunt people down, but to break their will down. And you might think of the show like Snoop Supernatural. I mean, this would be a creature that if they hunted, they would be in some trouble, because if this thing could hide well enough, and it's an ugly looking son of a gun, this doesn't do it any justice, but it's close. You gotta imagine, I mean, they're a goblin type creature that's fiendish. They've got a face like a bat with bat-like ears and evil eyes. And again, I say this doesn't do it justice, but this is the closest I can get to it with Better Spore. Once I get the other Spore add-ons, then I'll be a lot better off. I'll be able to make some better stuff. Anyways, their last ability that I like to mention is the fact that they can teleport. It's not teleport like you and I would imagine teleport, where they can just and then appear somewhere else. It's a lesser version called Dimensional Door. And what Dimensional Door allows them to do is basically shift between one place to another quickly. And it's not anywhere near as far, but if they didn't jump across that ravine I was talking about earlier to get to the party, they would be able to just pop from one place to another via Dimensional Door and just appear next to their foe. Now, mind you, that doesn't give them the chance to attack automatically, but it definitely gives them an advantage to be able to run after the person a little quicker. Anyways, now, once they become a greater Barghest, what basically happens is they gain a few more abilities, which I'm not going to get into now, but they get one of the major abilities to mention is the fact that they can shape change after that, and they can become human or any other look that they want. They can literally hide themselves amongst other people, even as a goblin or a human or even an elf, and be able to use that ability to hide their true intentions and then feast upon the party as they want. And it's just another thing that makes them a great foe and a great way to be able to use them. And as a monster, it makes them very devious, very evil, and very dark. And personally, as a DM, I enjoy that aspect of being able to use that against people. If you have an inventive enough mind, it's not just a monster that can do certain things, but you can use it to an advantage, and they could be a great villain against your friends, or your party, I guess you'd say. And with those abilities, it makes them truly a great foe. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed everything that I mentioned about the Barghest. If you like this, then awesome. Like it, favorite, and subscribe, and that will make my day, because it really does help me and my family. I really do enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys do too. And I hope you like listening to my rambles, because I really love doing it. I love playing video games, and I love you guys. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a good day. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And, well, we'll see you guys next time. Look for more videos. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
That's